Hey, it's MK, and I am here with a Messy Monday layout for you guys today. We are still working with gelatos and art crayons, and I am combining it with Scraptember using some circles. So I have these thickers that are called Hope and Dream, and they are uber old. I think they are from a Chamel layout, I want to say. I also have these rub-ons from Arden Creative Studio by the Hidden Creek collection. I have this stencil that came out about 2 years ago in one of my monthly kits. I have 4 photos of some really cool mist and fog up in Washington. I just really wanted to frame them in and remember all the greenery, basically. I have these scraps from the Hidden Creek collection as well, and I think I might use both sides. Normally I just use the one side, but I think for this particular layout, I will be using both sides. And then from Cartabella, I have this wood grain that I usually use on my water pictures, but this time I'm going to be using it for my circles. I also have this set of embellishments that are from 49 and Market. Most of them are the Hike More collection or Nature Study. I've kind of mixed and combined them together, but I don't know what I'll be using, so I didn't pull them out to share with you guys. I also have my gelatos and a bunch of my circle punches. So I will be creating on just a plain piece of white cardstock, and in case you guys have noticed, I'm at a retreat. So normally when I am working at my regular desk, I have a different glass mat, but when I am working at a retreat, I bring this very busy glass mat. It has a like an alcohol ink effect on it, and one, I love it because it never looks dirty. But two, I feel like it reflects the glare from the lighting that I need to bring in order to make these layouts pop at a retreat house. The problem with the retreat house is that no matter what, any lighting is almost like a fixture, and you really can't move it and adjust it for your layouts like I can at my house for video recording. So I do apologize for that little glare being up in the upper right corner. I try my hardest to hide it with certain things, but in the end, it doesn't end up working very well at all. So I do apologize about the glare being on the next couple of videos. I think the glare is on all the videos finishing out this month. All right, so I've got my gelatos, and again, I have my camera hooked up to a table that I didn't realize vibrated or moved around until probably about my 4th or 5th layout. I do apologize. So if the camera shakes, I will try to delete it from, if it shakes too much, I'll try to delete it from the footage, but I do like to leave all of my footage in to share with you guys on what it is that I'm doing. So I'm taking the gelato, rubbing it on my glass mat, and then picking it up with my brush. This is one of my favorite techniques for gelatos, because then I don't have to bring in a whole bunch of ink pads, because the gelatos, especially for a retreat, the gelatos take up less space. I don't have to worry about the caps coming off. The caps are quite tight, almost like a chapstick cap. And I don't have to worry about them drying out, accidentally getting left in the sun too much and melting, or drying out again for an ink pad, anything like that. But I do like the fact that I didn't need to bring all of my inks in for this particular exercise anyways. So when I want to bring in some color, especially just if I'm inking a stencil or inking like edges of paper, I can do this with my gelatos. I don't have to worry about it. I did bring in all of the colors that I was looking for, or that I brought in with my scraps. I did bring in all the colors, but I don't end up using all of the colors because I end up using the rest of the colors in the paper. But I just wasn't sure when I packed up this little page kit for my retreat on what exactly I was going to be using or needing. So I went ahead and I overpacked, of course, and brought all the colors just in case I wanted a little bit of white or a little bit of, not white, but blue or green on my stencil instead of this yellow that I chose to do. But I ended up choosing the yellow because I had a lot of green and blue and brown in all of my paper lines. So that's why I chose the color yellow instead of any of the other colors that I had brought with me. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and outline where I want my pictures to go because I traced them out. That's how I knew where to put all of my ink, just so that way I could give a shadow behind all of my pictures. And I do end up adding a little bit of layering. I don't want to say it's a photo mat because I didn't have enough paper to go all the way around, but it did add some layering to my pictures, just so that way I could get more paper in. Basically, that was the only point. In the end, I don't even think you guys see it. But I am going to take all of my punches. I have a 2.5 inch punch, a 2-inch punch, a 1 3/4, I think, punch, a 7/8 punch, which is random punches. And some of them I don't end up using because I wanted to stick with this punch for this pattern, this punch for this pattern, and so on and so forth. So the large punches are wood grain. The next to large punch is the plaid, and then of course the green. Now I'm punching the flowers, and I think that is it. I don't think I go to any other sizes. I don't do really super small or anything because I figured by the time I punched all of these patterns out, I'm going to cover up all my stencil work. I hadn't planned for that, you guys, but I needed to figure out how to do, the gelatos in with the circles. And so this was my best bet. To be honest, I did not think this whole layout through when I was building the page kit because my prompt was circles for Scraptember, and so I was going to do a whole layout full of circles. Well, how do you add gelatos and circles and so on and so forth? So I do need to figure out a better solution. But at this time, this is what it is. So for these layering pieces, not full photo mats, I'm going to go ahead and emboss or distress, on 2 different sides. That way I can cover up the other 2 and I don't have to worry about any of those. So for my papers, I'm actually going to put them in each one of the corners. And I'm going to angle them just a little bit so I can add a little bit of interest. Again, no purpose whatsoever to the interest, whatever. And that way it's not just flat across. If I would have left them flat across, it would have made it look like it's one giant mat, and I wasn't thinking about that at the time when I put this layout together, to be honest. So I will go ahead and glue those pictures down later. I just wanted to see what all I had, knowing that I was going to have too many circles. I already knew that by the time that I was done punching out the green circles, that I just had way too many, but I didn't want to put my scraps back. That was the thing. And then also, too, because I distressed the edges of every single circle, even the ones that I knew I wasn't going to use, I end up putting them behind my pictures, so that way it added dimension, and I didn't need to add any foam behind my pictures. I just went ahead and just used the distressed circles and the leftover circles as well. So all the ones that I'm going to be cutting off the edge of my pages and everything. I also decided not to continue to audition my circles in certain spots because, for one, I don't know why I even bother auditioning, you guys. I end up doing exactly what I did. Like, I don't do a whole lot of moving around when I so-called audition my papers. So I don't know why I don't just start sticking and plonking things down like Adele does on Inky Quill. I don't know why I waste the time to audition anything. Normally, my first spot is the lucky spot, and that's where it ends up staying, and that's where I end up gluing it. So I don't understand why I do this process multiple times of laying it all out, seeing how it looks and then turning around and gluing it down. It's just a lot of extra work. But I still do it. I still end up, doing it. But this one I thought I'd give it a try and add adhesive to all of my little circles, whether that's where they're going or not. So we're going to try the stick and plonk effect and see how it works for me. So here I am sticking and plonking, as Adele likes to call it. I did not come up with those words. If you guys go and watch Inky Quill, she will make you laugh. I'm also trying to cover up, so my desk is very dark. I have the light down so it's not very dark for you guys, but for me, it is very dark. I did not bring lamps because I have scrapbooked at this retreat house before, but the table that I was sitting at before had enough light. I did not need to bring any lamps, but now I'm at a different layout, or I'm sorry, I'm at a different desk, and it was very dark, especially when I started adding my camera equipment and covering up the lamp that was over me. But there's also lights behind me that were never turned on. And so I think that would have helped me a lot, but I never even thought to turn them on because nobody pushed that button until the retreat was almost over. Just to let you guys know that. All right, so here's where I decided I'm going to take all of my extra circles and put them behind my photos. So now my photos are popped up and dimensional, and I don't have to add any dimension. It worked out beautifully. I do have one extra little circle I decided to keep because it's green. Yes, that was the only excuse I have. And then before I add on my pictures, because I didn't know, again, I have no clue what I'm doing. I never do. I just grab things and hope for the best, you guys. I cook that way too. I throw everything in a pot and I hope that it tastes good. If not, guess what? We're going out to eat. That's how that works. Good thing that, hopefully, it's a good thing that most of the meals do end up tasting good. Healthy, maybe not, but good, they do. That we don't end up going out to eat. There has been a couple times, but that's for another story. I should totally do that layout. But anyways, I am just adhering my nope, they're rub-ons. I'm gluing down these rub-ons. And again, just hoping that they look good, but I didn't want to put my pictures down in case I needed to put some below the picture line, right? Oh, and over, like, say on the right of that upper plaid dot, I wanted to put some rub-ons there, but I don't end up doing that at all. I end up just following my diagonal line that I had no intention of doing to begin with. Let's just say that. And yeah, I end up making this into a diagonal design, even though that really wasn't the intention. But that's the way that it worked out based off of everything else that I keep adding to this layout. And it does end up looking really good to the point where I don't really need to add anything else to this layout. And I love layouts like this. I love layouts where it's more of a design than it is adding a whole bunch of embellishments. So I really do enjoy seeing this. Oh, we're we were singing a song. I don't remember what the song was, but I'm pretty sure one of the gals joining us can name the song that we were singing. And I know it wasn't "If You're Happy and You Know It, Clap Your Hands." I don't think that was the song, but it might have been. So I just had to clap along. I didn't realize that was in here. All right, finally getting these pictures glued down, and now I will be gluing down my title. And again, by the time that I get to the title, I am very happy with how this layout looks. I don't feel like I need to add leaves. I don't feel like I need to add labels or anything, you guys. I just really didn't think that it needed anything. So I'm guessing here, and once you apply something to a photo, it's not coming back up. It's just not, unless you want to peel the color out of the photo and have a bunch of white things left on your photo. I did not space out my title very well. So now I have a large gap over on the right side next to my Y. So I'm going to pull out one little element. And since I have a couple butterflies, I found a butterfly that I think will work and looks good and matchy-matchy. I thought that I would cover up this butterfly that's on this mushroom cluster, but honestly, I don't have mushrooms anywhere else. So I wasn't going to add another element because then I would have had to add another element. I would have had to do some sort of mushroom thing going on, and no, not going to do it. I also thought about adding a little heart next to my butterfly, but then it would have definitely taken more space over there. And here I can add the butterfly just a little bit, and it takes up just enough space. I still have that sky over on the right where the heart would have hung off of the picture. Then I would have had to do something on the other side of the H, and no, it would have just messed up the whole thing. So happy with my butterfly, and here is my layout. I super love my layout. That's a thing, super love. I just like how it ended up looking with just the few supplies that I knew I was going to use, but I didn't need all the other supplies that I brought in case I needed them. All right, you guys, as always, don't forget to check out the links that I have down below. I have a Messy Mayhem playlist if you want to go and check out what other products we've used on our Messy Mayhem. We are going to start combining product, by the way, just so you guys know what's coming in the future, because first we wanted to show off the single product and all by itself. Now we're going to start to combine some product. Also, too, don't forget to check out Scraptember. I have a couple links down below for that as well. A playlist, Facebook group, you know it. You know how it all works. All right, you guys, again, thank you so much for hanging out with me today. I really, truly appreciate it. And I will check you guys all later. Bye.